All right, what's up, you guys? Welcome to episode number 1 of the Global Grind podcast, the GGP. Got a nice little ring to it. I've been trying to hold myself accountable to doing this for a while, and much like the rest of you, I have a lot of things to do, and it doesn't seem like I have enough time to do them. But enough with making excuses, and that's going to kind of be the point of our episode today is just kind of prioritization and just the reality of the landscape that we all live in. And that kind of wraps into just overall what Global Grind is about. I actually thought this up in my parents' basement when I was 18, still living at home. It was my first year out of high school, and then it's like, okay, who am I? What am I going to do with my life? And trying to figure that all out. I think a lot of people can relate to that at 18. There's probably plenty of people that can relate to that at 55, and in some ways, I feel like I kind of have that at 30 right now. So just know that you're not alone. That just is kind of the way that life is, and overall, that's what Global Grind's about. Is to me, I was very lucky when I did go to college part time. I went to a small community college, this little old Harvard on the hill here, EWC, but I was lucky to meet some of my best friends there. And to this day, one of my great buddies, Harry, I mean, we couldn't have come from better, more different places, but yet what we've grown into, just kind of the mindset, and we couldn't be more different people in some ways, but there's this intrinsic mindset and this drive to try to figure out how to be better, no matter what, just kind of committing like, hey, I'm never going to stop. I'm going to try to figure this out to better myself. And it doesn't matter if you're, an entrepreneur, if you're a mom, that's busy, you're trying to get the kids where they need to go, try to find time for your own health. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter where you're from. We all kind of got these same things. We're trying to balance, our health and spirituality, our family life, and to be able to put food on the table, or be the nurturer and caretaker for our families. So yeah, that's what Global Grind's about, is that those kind of more universal things. It's not necessarily hustle culture. It's much more consciously evolved than that, in my opinion. That's kind of where it started for me, of course. If you're not born into it, it's the big thing they say, money is everything, when you don't have it, and that's how a lot of us start when we're young. So that's the vision for Global Grind, and really for this podcast to be short and sweet, but just kind of plug and play. You can throw this in your pocket, have your headphone in while you're mowing the lawn, doing the dishes, whatever, and you don't got to be on here for half an hour, listen to a bunch of information you're never going to retain anyways, but extract a good theme and a point and give your brain. I notice I operate at the best when I'm constantly, I don't got to read a lot, I don't got to listen to a lot of things, it gets to be too much, but just having something that's empowering and kind of brain fuel, almost like strength training for my mind, keeping me really focused and zeroed in, because the landscape that we're in today, as beneficial as these phones are for getting information and things like that, we all know that you can blow 20 minutes sitting on the pot scrolling or whatever you're doing. And I mean, when you really get off of that and you think about it, you're like, there was nothing that I gained from that, nothing whatsoever. So in light of that, I was thinking about what to do for the first episode here, and laying in bed a couple nights ago, I was like, I was kind of connecting the dots on kind of, again, like a universal truth, which is like, I've been strength training for 12 years now. And when people come in to train with us, we try to guide them and try to expedite that, and hey, we're going to give you the experience that we got now, but you're starting with it on day one. And that's great. You're going to, I think it's good to go find people like that in every niche and stuff. I think it's very, very intelligent to do so, and try to build upon knowledge that has come before you, which is great, and people with more experience than you. But at the same time, and relating it to business too, planning, preparation, risk mitigation, like it's all a great thing, and it kind of depends on who you are. But to some degree, and I think that probably most people fall into this category, and I think everyone falls into this category at some point. I know I do. I find myself kind of getting to a point where I'm like, what am I doing? Like what more do I need to do and plan and prep? Like you're never going to go into something being an expert. The things that are going to change your life are things that you are not currently doing. Think about that. They are things that you're not currently doing, right? Or cutting out things that you shouldn't do that you are currently doing. Either way, it's going to be different, and you're never going to you're not going to walk into the gym and be an expert. It's just not going to happen, right? And I think one of the most paralyzing things that is a parasite in people's mind is that type A perfectionism that's like, hey, like, I got to have, my friend working out with me all the time. I got to have a trainer. I don't know the right plan. Like, it's like, hey, you just have to commit from the very get-go that you are tired of the stagnancy and where you're at, and obviously you wouldn't be searching out change and betterment, and it's a great thing that you are. I mean, that shows, it's human to want to be better, I think, and I mean, you could be the type of person that's okay with that, and that's fine too. But if you want to be better, it's going to require you doing something different, and you're not going to be an expert. In business, I can't tell you how often I see people, it's like, I got to start this LLC, and I'm going to get this perfect branding. They're going to do all this legwork and this stuff, but it's like, hey, how about you just get in the market and start selling your product and service and kind of figure that out? Some of the things that, yeah, they need to be done, but ultimately you're trying to just do all this planning because you're delaying action. And I think that's the big thing for people right there. Whether it's business, whether it's getting in the gym, whether it's cutting habits, like our minds are so smart and they will 100% manipulate us and delay. It happens right now. It has to happen right now. Take action right now. If you're sitting there and you're like, man, I have not been to the gym. I've been paying for my gym membership, and I say I'm going to go and I don't go, right? I've been saying I wanted to start this little side hustle. Like, it has to happen right now, or else you will be sitting back when you're 65 and 70, and it would be the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Action now. I think that is such a huge principle for people to take. And there's so many distractions out there. You got to cut the BS, so to speak, right? Especially with our phones. It could be other people that you got obligations to. You got to really look at it, and there is only so much good, productive, fertile energy that you can put into growing whatever it is that you're growing in your life each day. It is a scarce resource, and it takes time to replenish each day. Be wise about how you use that. I have very much had to take a step back for myself too, and realize as things grew and I had such a demand on myself of like, hey, at some point now, like, I'm building all this and it's great, but now my foundation is just getting eroded and it's going to fall out right from underneath me. And that's my health, right? Like, I got zero good energy from my family. I can't hardly train. I'm getting wore down and sick all the time because I'm so burnt at both ends, right? And I had to just realize what I was really capable of, right? And make sure just to divert that and channel it very, very efficiently. One of my good friends likes to use a word each year where they pick that it's like their focal point, right? And they picked ruthless. I chose precision. I think everyone's different. It's good when you kind of tell yourself, hey, precision, like no distractions, going to be very direct, very precise in what I'm doing and execute, and I'm not going to delay action. So I hope that helps you guys. I mean, to me, I think we only really have, the universal things that we're all trying to work on to some degree are kind of health, wrapping in spirituality, time for silence, meditation, that's all those things, and kind of the unseen and how you feel, which is huge, if not everything. And then we got our family time and something that you're passionate about. Or putting, for a lot of us providers, putting food on the table, for a lot of you homemakers, and ladies at home, nurturing the kiddos, and raising good kids, which is a huge deal as well. There's not a lot of time for much else. There's really not. And so when you take a look at, what is your chief aim, right? If you had to put that down on paper today, I would challenge you that. What is your chief aim, and what are all the things that are distracting you from that? And then take action on it today. I think people just kind of overplan and think that they're going to be experts going in, when the reality is that you're not. And that's one of the things that I love about the gym, is that there are no politics. There's no one else that can ultimately do it for you, and you reap what you sow, you get out what you put in, and it is a scary thing, right? Kind of jumping off the boat and knowing that it's on you whether you sink or swim. But on the flip side of it, it's also a very liberating thing, knowing like, hey, at the end of the day, it's you versus you. You have way more enemies inside of you and the ways that you think and bad habits than are outside of you and holding you back. And the sooner that you realize that, the happier and quote unquote more successful, whatever that definition of success is to you, that you will start achieving that. So that's it for episode 1. The first time I ran this, my microphone died, and my iPhone, I'm just filming this on my iPhone, ran out of storage, so I had to redo this. So at any rate, next time we're going to talk about the 3 different kind of places in time, which is future, present, the future, present, and then the past, and kind of the mindset on each one of those, and how to build sustainable habits into your routine, to where you have no time, because you're putting in so much work on yourself, in ways that give you energy to do anything that's going to take away from you. And if you do, it's going to be so glaringly obvious and mindful that you're going to want to pull yourself right out of it. So without further ado, we're going to wrap that up. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 1 of Global Grind Podcast. It's our start. It's small. If this was something that you found that had a positive effect on you, or there was something of value that you got from this, please like and share it. Share it on your Facebook. We'd really appreciate it. We're trying to grow and just spread some good positivity around the world for everyone that's hustling and grinding to try to find their own definition of success and purpose and be the best that they can be. All right, Matt, out.